Wishmaster 2 was a solid sequel, I guess. There was a lot I liked about it, but I got bored a lot. But at the same time, I really enjoyed this movie. I have very mixed feelings about this, which I don't normally have that about movies. Either I like them or I don't. And this one is very mixed, which is funny because, I recently had very mixed feelings about the Lego Batman when I rewatched it. Um, there's a lot of amazing kills. The plot is okay. There's a lot of stuff I didn't care for, though. I mean, the smallest thing that really bothered me was in the beginning, there's an opening scene, three robbers, one of them immediately gets killed, and then another one also dies. He is the boyfriend of the other robber, who's the main character of the movie, whose name is like Margot or something like that. Um, I just watched this last night, but she had a bit of a weird name. I don't even think it was Margot. It was something similar, though. Morgana, maybe? Morgana, I think. Her boyfriend dies and she feels bad, and she mentions him a lot throughout the movie. And what was really weird about it was that the way the Wishmaster killed him was he made him so he was never born. The Wishmaster never tells her that. But yeah, he made her boyfriend so he was never born, and a pretty funny, pretty cool kill where he starts to become a child and then a baby, and then the baby disappears too. Um, but they never mentioned the other robber, not once. So did the Wishmaster get rid of the other robber too? How did he have time to get rid of the other robber? The other robber was dead. He couldn't make a wish about him leaving. Um, yeah, when the police arrest him, they're like, he's the sole person that stole the paintings and killed the guard and this and that. There's a lot of homophobia in this movie. The F slur is dropped at least 3 times. Pretty early on, there's a scene with a cop trying to get the Wishmaster to confess that there was more people than just him, because he believes there's more people than just him. And the Wishmaster is really trying to get the cop to, like, say something that, would get him killed, like the shootout scene in the first movie in the police station, which would have been, another cool callback, because this movie does a lot of callbacks to the first movie, but definitely would have felt overused, so I'm glad they didn't do that. So the cop is questioning him. He says some sexist shit about how he's probably hiding a girlfriend, and she's probably a really good fuck, and that's why he's hiding her. And he decides to go a different route, and he's like, oh, you probably have a boyfriend, you sly dog. And, at first you think maybe this sexist guy's being progressive, but nope, he immediately drops the F slur, insulting the Wishmaster, which is just crazy. I thought it was funny that Nathaniel kept the body of the previous random college student he stole from the first movie. Obviously, it's because of the actor playing him, but it would have been funny, if we had like a completely different actor and it was still the same, voiceover. Kind of like how in Twisted Metal, Samoa Joe plays the clown, but Will Arnett is the voice. It would have been cool to see the actor that plays the Wishmaster, but a different person, if that makes any sense. So Nathaniel takes the fall for Morgana, or whatever her name is. She's kind of a generic character. So she doesn't go to prison. He starts granting wishes there. We meet some characters like a guard who is played by the same dude that was in WWE for a little bit, Zeus, and he was also Debo in Friday. I know he's in other stuff, but it was cool to see him here. He doesn't do that much. He eventually gets killed off screen, but we do see his body later with it being all messed up and stuff. The Wishmaster decides to leave the prison with this random Russian guy that wanted to leave prison with him. So for once, the Wishmaster doesn't really kill somebody with their wish. That's a very rare thing to see with the Wishmaster. Unless, it's the main character, obviously, because they get 3 wishes. To kill them with their first wish wouldn't work out. They also add the rule for some reason in this movie that he has to collect 1,000 souls before he can even confront the main character, which wasn't something that was talked about in the first movie. So added lore, but I guess it raises the stakes or something. And another thing is, I think he can mimic voices now. I don't really remember that being a thing in the first movie. And then another thing about him is that apparently he can keep the person alive that is, supposed to be granted 3 wishes. Because the Russian guy tries to shoot the main character and she's completely fine. And the Russian guy's like, oh, he has other plans for you. So I guess the Wishmaster can keep them alive. I don't think that was mentioned in the first movie either. They just add a lot more lore. There's a third and a fourth movie. I might watch them soon. I don't know. I really only watched this movie because James recently covered it. I did really like the first movie, and this movie was a pretty decent sequel. The casino owner is another actor I recognize. He was Shocker in the MCU, and he was also in this horror movie Devil that I have yet to rewatch and review on my channel. It was one of my first horror movies. I really enjoyed that movie. So I might get it on DVD someday and watch it, because it's never on anything. But he's here. He's got a small role. He doesn't do too much. Gets one of the best kills in the movie with locusts eating the shit out of his face, and it's fucking crazy. The reason the massacre happens at a party this time is kind of forced and kind of stupid. In the first movie, Robert Englund's like, he wants this party to be a party nobody will ever forget or something like that. So then, the Wishmaster makes this party with all these crazy demons and shit killing people. In this movie, he just says, the casino owner is like, I want this party to be over. I want this nightmare to be over. So the Wishmaster just creates a bunch of stuff killing people? Okay. Morgana's able to defeat him by making her second wish. Her first wish was to, release her boyfriend, which the Wishmaster killed him. He was a stale character, too. His name was Gregory. So yeah, she makes the wish. They give us a little black and white scene of him, like a sitcom almost, of them being happy together. And then she grabs his hand and the jewel, and now she's pure of heart or something. And she chants the spell, all the souls are released, and he's defeated. Really anticlimactic way to defeat him. He was definitely defeated way better in the first movie via a loophole of, the main character saying something along the lines of, I wish I never broke the statue or something like that. So then she would have never have met him. And then she also prevents the statue from being broken. In this movie, it was just kind of lame. And that is Wishmaster 2. Good kills, good acting from the Wishmaster. And other than that, there wasn't that much to the movie. It was cool to see 2 actors I recognized, but I don't know if I'd watch this movie again. It's a decent sequel, though. It could have been much worse.